I should consciously choose those choices which has the positive outcome. That is the reason what I'm saying, that we have the power to choose in our hand. And that power right now in yourself. Your brain can choose those frequencies where you would like to tune in. Now question is, if you're not conscious about it, what is going to be happen? If you're not conscious, you say, all right, whatsoever it comes to me. Because of the prevailing negativity, your mind automatically tune in with the negative stuff. Now let's take an example of some of the media, for example. If I ask you, let's think logically about it. What type of news normally you get if you tune in yourself for whole of the day or half of the day in front of a television screen and you scroll around with the news and other stuff? Is it all positive news or is it going to be the negative news? Now the question is, our mind is more attracted towards the negative one. And because it is being attracted more towards that, there is some sort of psychological phenomena which happen where we have to check ourselves in order to become very conscious about our choices. That we are going to talk about. I hope it sounds sense to you up till now whatsoever I've been talking right now. Now let's see. In that VUCA world, what is the gift we have got? Because it is highly volatile, it is so uncertain, it is so complex, that the rate of change is happening at such a speed that we feel stress majority of the time. The uncertainties create that stress. Now, if I ask you, first of all, let's understand what stress is all about. Then we are being able to get to know what should be the antidote of it. And that stress is related with our, I'm going to say, many things about the financial thing, about the economy, about the job, about the family, about the kids, about the geopolitical situation. So many things are there. What we can do. So first understand what stress is all about. Let's understand that. Now, if I take some example, for example, now I'll take this example of two pens. So I hope you can see that. So this one pen, which is my standard. This is the standard of each and everything which I carry about myself, about my wealth, about my job, about my relationship. So this pen set up certain standards in my brain. So I have certain standards about my job, for example. I have certain standards about the people around me, how they should behave towards me. I have certain standards about the families which have been around me. So when I look into that part, so these act like a standard. Now, the question is, these are my established standard. And when I see that my reality, which is being in my surrounding, this second thing is my reality. So when I see that it is drifting now, whatsoever is in my mind, my set standard, there are certain deviation from that standard, I go into an anxiety mode. Now that started creating certain anxiety in my mind. Oh my God, what is going to be happen? My job conditions, my family scenarios, that sort of stuff, it's not been the same as I used to have, or the standard I carry, it has been changing. It creating anxiety. Now imagine if that started building up a little bit bigger and bigger. So if it create a bit of gap over here, now this is my standard and this is my reality, I can see a gap. Whenever I see a gap in my existing standards in my mind and my current reality, this causes me a stressful situation. So I feel stressed about my job. Oh, I used to have that. I used to be in that condition. We are having that sort of stuff from the schools or colleges or from the kids and from the family and from the relationship. Now I can see the gap over here. Now question is, as far as I am positive that someday this gap will be recovered back, someday this will come back to my standard, someday it will be reversed back. As far as I have a belief that someday it is going to be recovered back, I'll be in the stressful state with the positive expectancy, although the gap exists, but it is going to be covered back. Now imagine if this gap keep on increasing up to such an extent where I started feeling now that gap has become so big that whatsoever is going to change, this gap is not going to be covered up in any way. It might be related to my job, it might be related to economy, my family, whatsoever you say it. If this gap becomes so enlarged that it cannot be covered back, where I am been in, now I am in a depression state. It is called a depression state. Depression is a hopeless state that, oh, that gap has widened so big, I cannot recover back all of these things. Now, question is, in an anxiety state, in stress state, in depression state, what is the one thing which is a common denominator? The common denominator is we are seeing the gap. Please remember that. You can write it down somewhere. In every stressful situation, we see the gap which is not matching with my mental standard. As simple as that. Now, what is the antidote of it? If I don't want to be in the stressful state, what should I do? Question is, what should I do? The antidote of it, that I should have a feeling of abundance. Now, how can I get a feeling of abundance? The feeling of abundance always get when we are having a gratitude feeling within ourselves. What gratitude give us? Gratitude give us that there is already so much in our life which we must be thankful for. So I must be thankful for that I'm being, alhamdulillah, healthy. I'm thankful that I'm having a job. I'm happy that I have a bread on my table. I'm happy my kids are behaving normal. I'm happy that all of my relationships are working in normal. I'm happy that I have some of my financial backup. I'm happy that I'm gratitude that I'm being educated. So you can just count it down. So if you count it down with the blessings you are having in your life, so what feelings your mind will capture? Your mind will capture a feeling of abundance. Now, there is a very strange phenomena. There's a very strange phenomena, and you have to have this attention towards me right now, what I'm saying. Our brain does not have two conflicting thoughts at the same time. So, for example, if I'm having a thought of gratitude, my mind cannot conceive a thoughts of emptiness in my life. It can't do that. So, in order to having a gratitude, I am away from a feeling of emptiness. And in order to having an emptiness in my mind, I'm away from gratitude. So, the best advice what I can share with you, and this is what I've been practicing, that's why I'm telling you with conviction. I have my gratitude journal. What is that gratitude journal is all about? I have a ring-binded journal, and honestly, I have put each and everything, small or bigger, whatsoever the gratitude, whatsoever the blessings I'm having in my life. I just keep on writing into that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 112. So I had a long list. So what happened with myself? And this is the best practice which all the psychologists say, which we can practice, that whenever I feel my share of stress, I get my share of depression, I get my share of frustration, my antidote is, because I got a psychological profiling, that stress always give me an indication about what I don't have, and gratitude always give me a feeling what I already have. So I switch my focus towards my gratitude journal, and I just keep on reading through it what I already have in my life. Amazing, magical formula. And I tell you, if you want to experiment that, that's why I said at the start, I'm not just going to give you any lecture. This is something, practical tools and tips. So if you exercise it from today and just started making a gratitude journal, what you already have in your life, list it down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can bet on that. Whenever you are being in the moment of your depression, just look into that. Your mind will automatically switch. Oh, you are so much blessed. You already have so much of the things in your life. And that is the best antidote of pulling yourself out of any side of stress.